Hey everybody, Cappy the Whore for a new sponsor, and that sponsor is a book written by James DePrisco called The Economics of Catholic Subsidiarity. What do you mean subsidiary? And it's like, no, subsidiarity, which again, I am not a religious person. It may have some connotation or meaning. But basically, let me tell you what this book is about. It is, well, let me read it first, but then I'm going to expand on it because he did give me a little bit of script to read, and I will read from the author, but then I'll explain why this would probably be a very good book for many of my listening audience, those of you, because I know, even though I'm an evil agnostic heathen, I know many of you are religious, and so this may be of genuine intellectual interest to you where religion and economics collide. If you are a Christian, especially Catholic, and you are tired of social justice and liberation theology preached from the pulpit, this book is for you. A defense of the free markets and the subsidiarity, minimal government, based on Catholic principles. And that's all he writes. And I'm thinking like, well, that's kind of, it's really, I don't say it's underselling it, it's truly what it is. Well, look, you guys in the church in general, Christianity, have a huge problem with leftists, socialism, and feminism basically infecting and co-opting your religion. All right? Now, I'm of the opinion that the vast majority of you don't believe in your own. Now, the people here on my site, you do. I understand you guys are sincere Christians and sincere Catholics. I think you guys are true. You actually go into church and you believe. However, the vast majority of people, I would say, especially when I was in the church that I saw, they just attend church because it's something to do on Sunday. They don't necessarily believe, oh, it's good for the children. And so, my dad was a pastor, and so I have this background where I saw kind of from more the managerial and behind the scenes, where it's like the vast majority of people are posers. And when you go for the marketing aspect, like for example in the Twin Cities, there's this church in Minneapolis, they have the baptizing of the animals. You're allowed to bring your fucking pets into this church, and they'll baptize them one Sunday a year. Like, isn't that freaking cute? It also has a gay flag, and I am pro-gay marriage. But what I have seen as an independent observer is the complete, not just co-opting, but the commercialization of religion, where you now have female pastors. Again, as a libertarian, I am all for women being paid. You go ahead and do what you want. But wasn't there kind of a rule against that? Same thing with gay marriage. Well, all of a sudden this church is for gays. Like, wait a minute, wasn't there a rule against that? And soon you find out that you don't have a church no more. You don't have a faith. You don't have a religion. You have a club. You have a meet and greet, a little secret organization with a handshake under the false pretenses and guise of Christianity. And for those of you who are sincere about it, for those of you who actually believe in your own religion, your ship has been taken over by heretics, by what's the word? Not heresies, heretics and blasphemers, posers, fakers, not true Christians. And now, with the Pope being an outright communist, hey, you guys got some things to think about. So what I really like about this is it has three things working with it. One, as I mentioned before, the collision of two worlds. How does a religion, and it doesn't have to be Catholicism, but in this case it is, how does that jive with economics? How do you have free market principles? How does that work? Meshing these two ideologies, right? Is there a functioning a way for these two to function together? But then the other thing is the pseudo-religions, or these, again, I'm agnostic, I believe all religions are pseudo, but these fake religions in the form of political ideology that have totally taken over the youth, and I'd even say some of the older people nowadays, some of the younger baby boomers, certainly to all these millennials, where it's like, I find it, again, independent observer, I find it tremendously precious how today in the universities, especially the millennials, and my generation, Gen X, was also guilty of this, how they just mocked and made fun of Christians. Oh, you stupid, foolish people. Oh, Sarah Palin believes that there were dinosaurs 6,000 years. And I'm like, well, yeah, but you idiots actually believe in a religious ideology based on politics where they killed 100 million people and it wasn't wartime. It was through crappy, really shitty economics, and you're going to advance that. Oh, you'll cheer on Che Guevara, but you're going to mock Sarah Palin for believing in dinosaurs 6,000 years ago? And or global warming is another thing, or feminism, where it's like, again, just independent observation. Women are going to be men are going to be women, and women don't need to stay at home and take care of the kids. And it's like, why do you have tits? Why do you have tits? I'm just wondering, women aren't to take care of the kids? Because I don't know whether you're religious or you're going to go with Darwinism. I would say either because the Lord Almighty gave them to you or nature designed it that way over millions of years, you might be predisposed to take care of children. But the larger, that third element I like is seeing these hypocrites simply trade in one religion for another, where they mock and ridicule any particular, they won't pick on the Muslims because the Muslims will kick their asses, but because Christians turn the other cheek, that's why you are their whipping boy. They will jettison, mock, ridicule that religion, and then go worship a religion that, frankly, is even worse and dumber and stupid, where there is no saving grace, where it is pure evil, where it advocates parasitism and greed and sloth and laziness and hate and true bigotry. You want to see true bigots and hate? Go to the left. Go look at these people protesting over at the college campuses and shutting down free speech. So they'll get rid of a guy on a cross that says, forgiveness, love your brother, blah, blah, blah. You may not agree with it, but the message of Christianity is pretty darn good. Salvation, be good, 10 Commandments, kind of hard to, don't see what's terribly wrong about that. But it's okay to go and beat people up in Mason and shut them down, or advocate somebody like, what's his name? They get all excited about him. Not Mao Zedong, the murderer, beyond Mao Zedong, and not Pol Pot. Che Guevara, they go worship his altar? Really? It's just, you guys you got your own battle. I can understand where Christians have their own battle in this regard for your home turf. Forget religion. You got to worry about these pussy whipped pastors coming in, and instead of preaching the word of Christ, they're trying to get more congregants in, more members who donate to the collection pot. And they do that by saying it's no different than what we see in the Super Bowl ads. We're going to placate to politics. We're going to placate to women, and you're oppressed, and oh my God, we need feminism. We're going to placate to minorities and racism and illegal aliens and politics of a border and wall and sovereignty. It's like, how about you just sell your fucking beer, Budweiser? Or hey, Lumber 84, how about you just sell your fucking lumber? They don't do that. This is a new marketing gig. So it's not really, it is kind of selling about lumber, but they sacrifice their integrities, morals, and principles just so they can make some extra money. And that's exactly what's happening now, is they're using these exact same leftist, social justice warrior, socialist, feminist, global warming, whatever these new leftist religions are, to get more seats in the pews so that they can make more money. And it has nothing to do with Jesus fucking Christ. Sorry for all my cursing. I know people, but that's just who I am. So, I think this is a book that addresses all this, is about a very interesting topic, and one that pretty much, if you're Christian and you're not a leftist, you owe it to read this to yourself, because whereas I know religion is it's complete, it has all the doctrine in Scripture and all this. But as it pertains to how Christianity sits in the Western world today, and having to defend it against this assault, and infection from socialists, leftists, feminists, and all the variety thereof, this might be a really good book to read about the defense of free market and subsidiarity, minimal government based on Catholic principles. Because I know you worship the Pope, and I know. You should be worshiping Jesus and God, but you got that Pope in there for you Catholics. But you can put your faith in God and Christ and all that, but you may want to pay attention to people who you're letting in, and you may want to learn the defenses and the principles and the morals, so you know why, so that when you have these hypocrites, these bullshit artists that just want to use the religion to enrich themselves or for ulterior motives outside of what the original religion was intended for, you can kick them out. You could get rid of these pastors. You can get rid of these frauds and charlatans. They could start their own little weirdo pseudo-Christian church with gay banner flags and female pastors. Again, I'm for it. Go do it. I have no skin in this game. But for those of you that are serious about your religion, I mean, really think about this. What if there were mosques flying gay pride flags? I mean, it's funny when you think about it that way. What do you want with that? You know, really, they're gonna have a female a cleric, huh? Really, a female imam, huh? At least they defend their religion. I'm just saying. So get that book. That is, it went out. Chris, I could have remembered. That's why I had the notes, but then I talked too damn long. Where'd it go? No, there it is. The Economics of Catholic Subsidiarity. That's available on Amazon in both paperback and Kindle. If you'd like to have Cappy do a Cappy the Whore for a religious product while he curses and swears the entire time, hey, it's $100 a month. I'll put together a YouTube video. I run ads on my podcast, and I give you a banner ad on the blog, and I plug you on my Facebook and social media. So it's totally worth it, at least for a month, to see if it's worthwhile and profitable. So if you guys got questions, contact me. Go to my site, CaptainCapitalism.blogspot.com. That's the best way to contact me. Toodles.